And this is my story, but before I continue, please like and subscribe. When I was a kid, my parents always fought a lot. Mum got so fed up that she yanked me out of bed one night and snuck me out the door. Mom, I'm sleepy. I want to go to bed, shh. The next thing you know, we'd moved to a tiny apartment in a strange town, and I hated it. I screamed and cried for Mum to take us back home. Take me back, this is whack. I tried reaching out to my dad, but I was always too busy. That made me sad, but Mom found ways to cheer me up. Eventually, I got used to our new place, and hanging out with Mom was pretty cool. After a while, Mom met someone new. Soon they were married, and we moved into a new house. My stepdad was nice, but his daughter was a witch. Hey Dana, welcome your new mum and stepsister. Welcome them, Dad, they're poor. Why are we keeping them here and feeding them? They're disgusting and gross. Haha, she's just kidding. She's a little shy. She's a sweetheart once you get to know her. Dana was the worst. She threw ketchup in my face. Turned the lights off when I was reading. Tossed my clothes out the window and stopped. Stole all my toys. I tried to tell my mom what was going on. Hey babe, we're guests here. Dana is a bit spoiled. But we have to learn to accept her. Thank God Dana and I didn't go to the same school. Dana went to an expensive school for brats. And I begged my mom and stepdad to let me stay at my old school. But a few years later things took a turn. My stepdad's company lost a ton of money. And he couldn't keep up with the bills. Girls' money is tight. So we'll have to enroll both of you in public school. Public school, no? Dana threw the biggest tantrum and refused to eat for a week, though I caught her sneaking cookies from the kitchen. At night on the first day of school, Dana acted like a total spoiled brat. Hey everyone. You might see this girl talking to me, but that doesn't mean we're related. She's just our maid, no? She's our maid, no. She's our maid, no. She is our maid, no. She is our maid, Dana, and I fought all the time. We shouted at each other in the hallway, had a food fight in the cafeteria, and one time during science class, we started shoving each other and accidentally hurt the teacher, who was trying to separate us. She ended up with a broken nose. The kids thought we were insane. Neither of us had any friends. I mean, I couldn't blame them. Dana was a crazy witch, and I'm cool but shy and weird and insecure and invisible. So yeah, after weeks of being outcasts, we grew a bit closer, just a bit. Because we were lonely, and we only had each other. Then one day in first grade, our parents sat us down to give us some news. We're gonna have a baby. Oh, really? That's cool, a baby. Why would you go and do a stupid thing like that? The baby came and my parents were so happy. A beautiful little boy, isn't he precious? Let's call him Sam. I fell in love with Sam immediately. Even though he was annoying, he cried a lot and puked and peed all over the place. Dana avoided Sam like the plague. She'd lock herself in her room and only came out to eat. Look at his stupid, dirty face. OMG, why is he throwing food everywhere? I played with Sam every day. You're so good with him, honey. Could you watch Sam while Dad and I run some errands? Sure, no problem. As time went on, Mom and Dad started leaving him with me all the time. Eventually, I was Sam's permanent babysitter. When Sam turned 2, he turned into a maniac. He drew on the walls with crayons, smashed an expensive vase, and poured milk in my dad's office drawer. And they blamed me every time. That vase cost a fortune. I'm taking it out of your allowance, but it's not my fault, I told you so. Told me that the brat was a bad idea. It's only going to get worse, and Dana was right one day. I had a huge chemistry test, and told my parents way in advance that I needed to study, but they still shoved Sam in my face and just left. I'd had enough. I dropped Sam off in Dana's room, and headed out the door. Where do you think you're going? I'm done with this family. I'm out of here. You can't just leave me with this thing. Watch me look, Sammy. She has cookies. Sam grabbed Dana. And I walked out the door. Ugh, no! Get away, leave me alone, help. I hopped on the bus and went straight to my dad's. He was out of town when I got there, so his maid let me in for the first time in a long time. I had peace and quiet. My mom and stepdad freaked out. When they found out I'd left, but I refused to come back. In school the next day, Dana ran up to me looking crazy. I can't take it, please come back home. I thought you hated me, I do. But Sam's a demon, he tore up all my clothes. And flushed my makeup down the toilet. Sounds like you're getting a taste of your own medicine. I turned to walk away, but then Dana started bawling like a big baby. Please, I'll do anything. Just come back home, okay? Maybe I'll come back, but on one condition. You have to do what I say when I asked. No way, I'm not your maid. You won't be my maid, you'll be my assistant. That's even worse, take it or leave it. Tina reluctantly agreed, but even if she hadn't, I'd have moved back anyway, because I missed my little Sam. The thought of him being ignored by my shallow parents, and selfish Dana made me sick to my stomach. I moved back in, and whenever our parents left us with Sam, I'd set up a schedule, so Dana and I shared the responsibilities. Things were great for a while, but they took a turn when Sam turned 10. He stole my mum's diamond ring and gave it to his classmate to impress her. A pretty ring for a pretty girl. Are you crazy? I can't take this. Sam got so mad he punched the girl in the face. And he sold Mum's ring to his friend. I'll get you're too busy to go and sent me and Dana instead. We came because our parents have leukemia. Oh my God. No. She means anemia. No. I think I meant amnesia. They're getting old and crazy. They're just sick, and we came instead of them.
Can you tell us what the problem is?
Sam gave one of his classmates a black eye. He broke a window, and he's been terrorizing the other students. When we got home, I went straight to Sam's room. We need to talk about what's going on. With you in school, I'm busy. If you keep this up, you might get expelled. Get out, I'm slammed the door in my face. He was very stubborn, but I wanted to help him. When my mom and stepdad came back that night, Dana and I told them everything. It's those mean kids, they hate me. And they're always making fun of me because I don't have nice things. Oh, darling, we're so sorry. We'll buy you new clothes. Then Mum took Sam on a shopping spree. I couldn't believe they fell for his act. Later that night, my parents went out of town for a business dinner, and Dana and I were watching MSA videos in my room when Sam appeared out of nowhere. Hey, stupid witches! You're gonna pay for telling on me. Get out of the way, psycho. We're trying to watch TV. Sam pulled out a huge jar of crickets from behind his back and smashed it onto the floor. The crickets landed in our hair and all over our clothes. Ha ha ha. Get them, my pretties. A couple of months later, Mom and Stepdad called us into the living room to tell us we were moving into a brand new, fancy house. So wait, we're rich again, yes. We have twice as much money as we had before. Thank God I hated being poor. Now I can go to a fancy college, only the best for my daughter. A month later, Dana left for college in another city. I could have gone away too, but I was too worried about Sam. So I got enrolled in a college close to home. But soon after, my stepdad enrolled Sam in an expensive private school. And he started hanging out with these spoiled rich kids. I had to make sure that he didn't get into some big trouble. In my sophomore year, I was reading in the park one day, when suddenly, I spotted a big dog running at crazy speed, with a guy my age trying to grab his leash. His name was Alex, and he was a senior in my university. I gave him my hoodie, and we ended up talking for a while. I hadn't even realised 2 hours had gone by. Oh shoot, I got to go, I got to check in on my little brother. So how do I get your hoodie back to you? Maybe I could take you out for dinner tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry. But with the university and some things at home, I really don't have time to date. Gotcha, well, here's my number. Just let me know where I can drop it. Then he started walking away, and so did I. But a part of me felt like I was doing the wrong thing. Hey, wait. How about a coffee tomorrow? Sounds like a good place to start. Alex and I started dating, and being with him just made me happy. For the first time, it felt like someone was noticing what I needed, and was taking care of me. Things at home with Sam just kept getting worse. He was skipping classes, and getting detention all the time. And then some creepy guy started coming around the house, looking for Sam when my parents weren't home. When I asked him who they were, he just told me to mind my business. Then one night, Sam came home with a bruised face. Are you okay? What's going on? I'm fine, sis. I can take care of myself. Sam, I can't be your babysitter forever. I have a life of my own, and one day, I'll just leave my life. My choices. You can't change someone who doesn't want to change. Then he just hugged me and cried. The next morning I tried to talk to him, but he was already gone. I'm worried about Sam. I think something's going on with him. Oh, you worry too much, honey. Sam's fine. Have you seen his face? He said he got hurt during football practice. Ugh! Soon after I graduated, Alex proposed, and I was over the moon. I'd have to move out. But I would only be 10 minutes away from Sam. Not that he seemed to care much either way. And on my wedding day, Sam was nowhere to be found. I kept calling him, but I couldn't get through, and we couldn't postpone the ceremony any longer. I felt so upset that he had missed this. But 2 hours later, I finally got a panicked call from Sam, asking me to pick him up from some bad neighbourhood. You're not a baby anymore. You just ruined one of the most important days of my life. I've always been there for you. And you couldn't even be there for me. Even today I started to give up hope of fixing him. I was fighting a battle alone, a battle that wasn't mine, and my parents just made things worse. Sam failed high school, but my stepdad paid the school board to give him passing grades. It made me so mad, but I had no say in the matter. Then one day, the company I worked for gave me an amazing job. Promotion if I moved to California. It was a great opportunity, but I felt unsure Alex supported me either way. But I tossed and turned all night thinking about what to do, and finally called Dana. Ugh. You've got one life less. You can either live it for Sam, or live it for yourself. Sam had started interning at his dad's firm, but I observed him for some weeks and saw that he still had the same kind of friends, and was still blowing money and partying the same way. And I finally made my decision. What, you're going to California? That's across the country. I need you here, Les. No, not really. You only need me around to clean up your messes. But I'm done doing that, Sam. You were right. You can't change someone who doesn't want to change. Leslie, please. You're all I have. You've got Mom and Dad. And they'll take care of you in their own way. You're there, kid. I just can't be your parent anymore. But you're my big sister, and I'll always be there for you as that. So when you decide to fix your two identical twins... Me and my sister Mila, unfortunately. We were only a month old when my parents divorced. Mum took Mila to the city, while I stayed in the village with Dad. Dad was my only friend because growing up, I was super shy, and preferred to read and write stories in my journal than play with other kids. Are you sure you want to spend another Friday night alone? Sweetie, don't worry, Dad. I'm fine, aren't you happy? I'm not going to any wild parties or dating any boys. Then one day when I was 16, I got a strange visitor, Hitiana. Oh, you're all grown up now. And so beautiful. Thanks. Do I know you? Wow. I guess your dad never mentioned me much, or kept any pictures. I'm your mum. Haha, you're joking, right? But she wasn't instead. Dad came over and the two of them sat down with me in the living room, all right? I let you come over because you said you had an emergency. So what's going on? It's Tiana's sister Mila. She's a model and makes a lot of money, but she started struggling with mental illness and suddenly quit. Now if she doesn't complete her contract, we'll be sued for a crazy amount of money. Tiana has to fill in for her. No one will know. I may have to trim her bangs a bit. Though, wait, what? This is the emergency. What a stupid and twisted thing to ask your daughter that you haven't seen in 16 years. Get out of my house right now. They started arguing, and I didn't know what to do, so I just slipped out of the room and tried to calm myself down. But Mom just wouldn't give up. And the next day she made me a crazy offer. Your father mentioned you write stories, and that it's your dream to become a famous author. What if I told you I knew an agency that could publish your work and pay you a fortune? How could I say no to something like that? After that, I convinced Dad to do the modelling contract, and finally he agreed, so I moved to the city, where Mom and Mila lived in a mansion. Mom greeted me at the door and hugged me tightly. I still wasn't entirely comfortable with her, but it was nice to feel welcome. You'll meet Mila later today. She doesn't leave her bedroom. She even has dinner there. You mean I'll only see her if I come upstairs with you? Doesn't she ever leave the house? Mom didn't answer. She just snapped her fingers and ordered some servants to get me settled in my room. God, this place was so different from what I was used to. And I was curious to meet my mysterious sister too. That evening I was reading in my room when I heard a scream outside my room. I went to the hallway to find the maid covered in food. That's when I also saw Mum and Mila. I told her I wanted pizza for dinner. Not these soggy vegetables. Of course, baby. Our mistake, but pizza's not good for you right now. We'll get you the tastiest salad ever. I'll give you a raise, all right. I can't have another servant quit because of her. You always do this, Mom. I don't want a salad if I don't get a pizza right now. I'll take all of your gold jewellery and give it to the neighbour's dog to chew on and then throw up, excuse me. But don't speak to your mom like that. And you certainly didn't need to throw food at your maid. This is my twin sister, Mom. She has a lot of nerve for a house guest. Also, we may look identical. But her skin is way more blotchy than mine. You should tell the photographer that beforehand. Geez, this girl was something else. I went off to bed after that, and Mum told me not to take Mila's behaviour personally. I just want her to be happy and healthy. The next day I arrived on set, when suddenly I noticed everyone glaring at me and whispering angrily what was going on. Hey, why is everyone here giving me dirty looks? Did I do something wrong? Ugh! You're here, I thought you quit. After you humiliated me, in front of thousands of people. Also, you bullied every single person on set. Since you started working here, Mila, they were hoping they'd never see you again. After you left, what? I bullied everybody here, and what did I do to you? I mean, I didn't take my meds this morning, so I forgot what happened. Can you remind me? Ugh. Give me a break. Mila had apparently done a lot of horrible things. Because every person around me acted like I was some kind of monster. I called Mom and told her what had happened. You must have spoken with Vladdy, Mila's co-worker and ex-boyfriend. She dumped him publicly during an acceptance speech for an award show and said some mean things. Just focus on your work, honey. He's not your problem. I knew Mum was right. So the next day, I ignored all the death stares and kept to myself. But later that afternoon, Vlad and I had to do a photo shoot together. The photographer was about to start when suddenly, she started freaking out. I cannot work like this. Vlad, how much weight did you gain? The costume designers worked really hard and you, forget it. I'm requesting a different model. What, why? We've been rehearsing this for weeks, and I haven't gained any weight. He really does look great. Maybe his suit just has to be tailored a bit. The photographer wouldn't listen, and Vlad stormed off with tears in his eyes. Vlad, don't listen to that photographer. You're in great shape. I don't get why she had to be such a jerk. Well, she wasn't totally wrong. I've put on a little weight. Surprised you didn't make fun of me about it. Have I made fun of your body in the past? You made fun of it in front of thousands of people. During your award speech, you said you were dumping me because I didn't have ABS anymore. Wow, well. I'd like to apologise for that. The truth is, I think you're really brave for doing a job like this. I hate having my picture taken. I mean, even though I'm a model. The point is, I'm sorry, okay. I really didn't expect an apology from you. We're still broken up, but thanks for that. After our talk, Vlad was nicer to me, which made my job a lot easier. One day I headed to the den to watch some TV, when I saw Mila sitting on the couch. What are you doing here? What do you mean? This is my house, isn't it? Yeah, but I thought you never came out of your room. I don't, but my room doesn't have a TV. And I like watching my MSA videos on a big screen. You watch MSA too? They're my favourite YouTube channel. Their stories are what inspired me to become a writer. Yeah. I don't care, you can watch with me, as long as you keep your mouth shut. I decided to take the opportunity to spend time with Mila. She obviously had some issues. And I was curious to know more about her. As we were watching videos, Mila's phone suddenly rang and she looked annoyed. Why is Vlad calling me? My heart started racing as Mila answered the phone. Apparently Vlad had called to ask her out to coffee. He said he's glad we're getting along better lately. And that I seem happier and healthier. Did you flirt with him or something? What, no? We're just friendly co-workers. Listen to me at your job. You're not Tiana, you're Mila. And Mila doesn't want you talking to Vlad at all. I still love him, you love him. And yet you dumped and publicly body-shamed him. Look, I'm not interested in your ex-boyfriend, but I'm allowed to be his friend. He's not your property, and he deserves to be around someone who doesn't mistreat him. I left before Mila could answer. And the next morning at work, I told Vlad I was sorry if I was rude to him on the phone and that I was happy to hang out. I really don't have time for your games, Mila. I'm not playing games, dude. Just whatever you do, don't call or text me on that number again. I got a new number. I convinced Vlad to let me buy him coffee. And as we were walking to a cafe, I saw a lady come up to us with a little girl behind her. I'm so sorry to bother you, but my daughter is a big fan and I wanted to say hi. She's just a little shy. You don't have to feel shy. I'm just a normal girl at the end of the day. Like you did, your mum buy you this pretty scarf. Actually, I got it as a present from my agency. Do you want it? I think you'd look even better in it than I do. No, we can't possibly accept that from you, Mila. That scarf cost thousands of... It's okay, really. I want her to have it. The girl was starry-eyed, and her mom thanked me over and over. Wow, I can't believe you just did that. You've changed a lot during your vacation, haven't you? Are you in therapy now or something? I guess you could say that... Vlad insisted on buying me coffee, instead of the other way around, and I even got some free pastries, since the cashier was also a fan of Mila. I was living like royalty, pretending to be her, and my life as a model just kept getting better. I was getting huge business deals, because everyone was amazed at how Mila had apparently made a comeback. But my success drove my sister totally wild. You're just living your perfect life, aren't you? Oh no, wait. You're living my life. The only reason I'm even here is because you sabotaged your career with your awful behaviour. Mila just threw a pillow at my head and walked off. What a brat as more time passed. I also started hanging out with Vlad, and we became really close. But I was always hesitant to tell him about my real identity. One night he walked me home. And when we arrived in front of the house, he took my hand and I felt my knees go weak. I had such a lovely day with you. You seem a lot happier and healthier lately. Or maybe I'm just seeing a different side of you. Suddenly he leaned in to kiss me, and I found myself pulling away. Vlad, I'm sorry. But I can't kiss you. What do you mean? I want to give us a second chance, 'cause you're the new you, I know. I know, but things with me are more complicated than they look. I have to go, I'm sorry. I quickly snuck inside the house, but when I closed the door, I saw Mila leaning against the wall, and she looked enraged. I saw you two from my bedroom window. Tiana, I told you to stay. Away from Vlad. I know we haven't grown up together, but you're still my sister. And sisters don't steal each other's boyfriends. I'm not stealing anything from you. He tried to kiss me and I refused. But if you still love him, you should reach out and apologize. Do you think I haven't done that? He won't take me back, Tiana. I know it doesn't look like it, but I am trying to work on myself and become a better person. Hurting Vlad was the biggest regret of my life. I didn't know how to respond to that, and as I lay in bed I felt torn about what to do. I did have feelings for Vlad, and Mila had been horrible to him, but I still didn't want to hurt her, so the next day at work, I told Vlad I only wanted to be friends. But why is there something you're not telling me? It's just suddenly I saw something. That made me forget what I wanted to say. The director was putting an envelope next to my purse, and it had my name on it. I left Vlad right away to see what it was. Excuse me, what's in this bag? The menu for your new diet. You have a photo shoot coming up this month, and you need to drop some weight. What do you mean I have to drop some weight? This diet is insane, I could get sick. That's ridiculous. We've given you this diet many times, and you were fine. So can you do your job and follow this diet? Or are you going to go crazy and have a mental breakdown again? I felt like the grounds beneath me had collapsed. This was how the agency had treated Mila. When she was here, no wonder she'd been struggling. I had to see her right away. I went home and knocked on Mila's door, but there was no answer. Then suddenly, I smelled weird, coming from underneath the floor, so I opened the door and my heart dropped. Mila's entire bedroom was covered with dirty plates, and there was food under her bed that she'd snuck in from the kitchen. At that second, Mila's bathroom door opened. Oh my God. Get out, this is a total invasion of privacy. Mila, what is all this? The director gave me the diet menu today, and she said she's always given it to you, whenever you put on weight. But now, I think you have an eating disorder. My eating disorder, LED to my breakdown. I thought it was a harmless diet, but they kept telling me that I was still too heavy, so I started starving myself. But I'd get hungry and stuff my face, and the pressure to look perfect got to me. And then I projected my own insecurities onto Vlad. Tiana, I was never that of you. I didn't want you to suffer like this. Oh my God. I had no idea, I'm so sorry. But it's excuse my behaviour. It's turned me into a monster. I hugged Mila tight and let her cry, and after that, we went straight to the agency to take care of business. But when we arrived, Mum was there. And when she saw Mila, she freaked. What is she doing here, Tiana? I came here to help you sign a contract. For a new business deal, we could get into huge trouble if someone sees you two together. Forget it, Mum. I'm not filling in for Mila anymore. I'm done. You care more about money than you do your daughter's health and well-being. This agency totally mistreated Myla and the other models, and if I stay any longer, I'll go down the same dark path she did. Oh, Tiana, don't be overly dramatic. Mila's breakdown had nothing to do with the agency. Mila was about to answer when we heard footsteps behind us, and when we turned around, it was Vlad. I hadn't spoken to him since the other day. His eyes got huge as he stared at Mila and me. Mila, you have a twin. Actually, I'm not Mila. My name is Tiana, and I've been secretly filling in for Mila since last month. She didn't want to continue modelling, but they were going to sue us, and she quit before her contract ended. And it was her. You've been hanging out with this whole time. I don't understand, so... You both lied to me and the whole world about all this. It wasn't our choice, it was... Vlad walked away before I could finish, and I was devastated. I wanted to go after him. But I had to take care of other things first. I called Dad right away, and with his help, we filed a lawsuit against both the agency and Mom for mistreatment and fraud. Dad got custody of Myla and got her the therapy she needed, and I was still able to get my stories published. But our little switcheroo was all over the news, and Vlad was still ignoring our calls. Then one day Vlad texted me to meet him at a cafe, but he said he didn't want to talk to Myla. That was weird, so talk to me. How come you asked me to come here but not Myla? Because you're the one I want to be with. Tiana, you're a better person than Mila is. I was hurt that you lied, but I know you had your reasons. I'm not a better person than Mila. I just had it way easier than her. She still loves you and wants a second chance. But she hurt me too deeply, and I don't think I can ever love her the same. You're the one I want to be with. My heart raced as Vlad took my hands, and I stared into his deep, dark eyes. Vlad, maybe someday we can be together, but right now I have to focus on myself. I've been living my sister's life for too long, and I've lost touch with who I am. Still, Philadelphia. Please like and subscribe. I was raised by my single German mum, who moved to the US before she had me, and she wasn't a very conventional mum. For starters, I was allowed to call her by her name. Julia and other people just didn't get that Carol... Excuse me, can I please go to the bathroom? It's Miss Carol, honey. You don't call adults by their first names. Like you say, Mum. You don't use her name, yeah. I do, I call her Julia all the time. What's wrong with that, Carol? She thought I was being cheeky and got mad. I really didn't understand why. But after that, I started using Miss, Mr. or Mrs. with names of everything in our class. Just to be on the safe side. Mr. Apple, Miss Banana, Mrs. Pencil. And for some reason that annoyed her too. Mom always treated me more like her BFF than her daughter. And we could have candid conversations about anything. How many boyfriends have you had? Julia, 5. Can I have a boyfriend, sure? But I warn you, boys are annoying. Was my dad annoying? He was the worst. Lazy, stupid jerk. He always stole my chocolates. I'm glad he's not around, okay? Is Santa Claus real? Ugh, of course not. I buy your amazing presents. Not some fat old man, I thought so, Julia. Life was pretty good till a woman moved next to us in the 3rd grade. She had a son who seemed to be my age, and Mom and I were excited to welcome them to the neighbourhood, but the lady didn't seem too happy to see us. What is it? You woke me up from my nap. Oh, we just brought you a butter pecan pie. Oh, what now? A butter pecan pie? That's just her German accent. Sounds really weird. I'll return the dish once we've eaten it. Okay, Duncan. What did you say? I said okay, Duncan. Who are you calling a donkey? You weirdo. And then she smashed the pie in Mum's face. Mum lost it and attacked her, and several neighbours had to stop them from ripping each other's hair out. I tried telling the lady and her son that Danke means thank you in German, but they just wouldn't listen. And that was the day. An endless war started between the two houses. Alan's mum worked the night shift and slept during the day, so Mum made sure she did everything noisy during that time. Like mowing the lawn, hammering nails in the wall for hanging pictures, and playing the drums, yeah. She bought a drum set just for that purpose. And in turn, we'd often find our washed laundry in the mud, dog poop on our doorstep, our newspaper crosswords always done, and trash outside our gate. Hey, you picked this up before I come and kick your bottom. You should go back inside. There's already enough garbage on the street. Our mums also kept calling the cops on each other. They were playing their music too loud. We were not. They're keeping an illegal animal in that house. We just own a cat, you moron. But you've been keeping lice in your hair and spreading it in the neighbourhood. Officer, arrest her. We shared a wall, and one time, Mom was playing music, and Alan's mum started banging on the wall. Mom got pissed and banged even harder. Then Alan's mum punched a hole through the living room wall. You stupid cow, ruined my wall. It's not your wall, it's mine. Alan and Mum started to trash the hole. And fought down deeper. And for me and Alan, our few means to home, we made each other illegal with stupid money. And just then, I heard Alan walking around. He turned in the way, and I started water on him. Wow, you smell terrible. I'll get you for that, Brittany. Oh, I'm scared you're gonna get your mum to punish me. You mama's boy, I can take care of myself. You ugly monkey. There was never a moment of peace between us. And then in 9th grade, our mum both came to school for the school play and started fighting over a seat. Hey, that's mine. It's your name on it. If you have no English, they started catching each other. A couple of teachers had to drag them out of the auditorium. As Ellen and I looked on in horror, everyone was talking about us. I don't think I've ever felt so embarrassed in my entire life, seriously. I wish the ground would swallow me whole. Wow, look at us. We actually agree on something. And honestly, I was getting a little sick of it all. We had done about as many nasty things as we could to each other, and I was beginning to wonder what the point of it was. Julia, why don't we just move and put all this behind us? No, that's exactly what that woman wants. And I won't let her have it. But there were more and more days where I saw Alan, and it wasn't my first instinct to glare at him. or call him stupid, or throw my drink in his face. And I started noticing a similar change in Alan. I think the two of us had reached the same conclusion. We had outgrown this feud. We weren't friends, not at all, but we weren't really enemies anymore either, which somehow led us to being partnered for a class project. Oh, great! Stuck with you. You're gonna set my notebook on fire. Or stab me with a pencil. Look who's talking. You threw rotten eggs through my bedroom window and put a dead fish in my mailbox. I'm not exactly thrilled about this either. Whatever, let's just get it over with. We knew there would be a huge fight if either of us told our mothers. We were working together, so we kept it a secret and met up in parks and cafes. I didn't expect to enjoy myself, but weirdly I did. One day I caught him staring at me. What are you looking at? I always thought your face looked like a rotten tomato, but when you smile you're kind of cute. Oh yeah, your face looks like a raisin. Raisins are sweet and they're good for you. The next day, Alan gave me a basket of golden raisins, with a silly note that made me smile. Alan was actually really funny. He made me laugh more than anyone else. And I could almost forget all the things he'd done to make me angry over the years. Brittany, I know our mums hate each other, but I was thinking, you mean you finally got that brain of yours to work? Haha, very funny. Truth is, I don't hate you. I'm not sure if I ever really did. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Even after the project was done, we kept sneaking around and hanging out as much as we could, watching movies and taking long walks. And the more time I spent around him, the more I started realizing that I liked him, Alan. I think you've fallen head over heels for me. You've been struck by Cupid's arrow. You can't get enough of me. And you think about me all the time. I wouldn't say all that, okay, fine. If you were going to say that you liked me, then you should know that I like you too. So what should we do about it? I have some ideas. Then Alan pulled me close and kissed me. Our moms were still getting into fights, but that didn't mean we had to be a part of it. When we were in school, we could totally pretend none of that drama was real. And afterwards we would hang out, in places where our mums weren't likely to find us. Sometimes, we'd even use the hall connecting our houses to talk. After our mums had gone to sleep, things seemed to finally be going well, mostly. When should we tell our moms? Don't you think it's too soon? Considering that they hate each other. It seems like any time would be bad. Besides, aren't you sick of sneaking around behind their backs? I'm not really used to keeping secrets from my mom. I guess you're right. Why don't you come over for this big family dinner? Mum's hosting tomorrow, and I can introduce you as my girlfriend. Then she won't make a scene in front of so many people. Trust me, that night, I showed up at the party all decked out, and Alan greeted me at the door. Wow, you look amazing. You look good too. Aside from the sweat on your forehead, I'm just a little nervous. I'll be fine, the house was filled with guests. And they were really nice. A few minutes later, we all went to the dining room, and that's when Alan's mum walked in, with the roast chicken and saw me. What is that awful girl doing here, Alan? Alan was about to speak, but then suddenly he pushed me away instead. I have no idea, Mum. She must have snuck in, she has a crush on me. And she's just obsessed like a psycho stalker. I was so shocked and hurt. I couldn't even move or speak. You horrible child, get off my property at once. Or I'll call the police. Ellen's mum picked up a bowl full of spaghetti and hurled it at me. I ducked just in time and went running out the door in tears. And when my mum found me sobbing on my bed later, I told her what had happened. She was beyond furious. I'm not going to let them both get away with this. Julia, can't we please just move away? I'm so sick of all this fighting. No, we are staying right here. And we are planning revenge. She came up with all these crazy ideas for how I could embarrass him, at school or out in public, and some of them involved his mom. I was getting so frustrated that my brain was about to explode. Just stop, what do you mean, stop? You haven't even heard the rest of the plan. I'm sick of this. I don't want to be part of your stupid plan. There's no need to be rude to your mother. If you have a better plan, share it, OMG. You are not hearing me. I'm tired of this stupid feud, and I don't care about getting revenge on anyone. And I wish you would act like a mother for once. I ran outside and bumped right into Alan. What are you doing here, Brittany? Look. I don't have much time, my mum's out, and I wanted to say, I don't care about what you have to say. We decided to tell your mum about us, and you chickened out and lied about everything. Wait, please, I know I was a jerk and a coward, and I shouldn't have acted like that. I just froze up. Congratulations on your self-awareness. Now get out of my way, you don't understand. My mum's terrifying. She gets that crazy look in her eyes. I can't make her mad, she's really hard on me. But I know that's not a good excuse, and I really am sorry. I love you so much. I want to shout it from the rooftops. I hate hiding things and living like this. What if we didn't have to hide it? Our mums will never see eye to eye. We need to find a way if you really care enough. Of course I do both. Our mums were on alert because of what had happened, so we had to be extra careful, sneaking around and meeting up, which led to some pretty close calls. One night I even had to climb a tree and leap over Alan's backyard fence when his mum got home from work early. And then a day came when we were hanging out at the park, and suddenly my mum popped out of a bush. Haha, I knew something was going on. How could you, Brittany? Mum, Alan. Suddenly Alan's mum appeared from behind another bush. Why would you associate yourself with that awful girl? Because we love each other. You, your evil daughter, has brainwashed my son. More like your demon son has brainwashed my daughter. Our moms fell into an all-out fight, pulling hair and screaming, and trying to gouge each other's eyes out. It was insane, but Ellen and I looked at each other and just ran away from there. We were done, and for the next 3 days, we hid at my friend's house and made her swear not to tell our mothers. After a while, our moms reported us missing, and flyers of our faces were posted all over the city. You know, we can't do this forever, Brittany. I know, but I'm not sure I'm ready to go back yet. I'm not either, but we have to eventually. The next morning when we went home, both our moms came running out, pulling us into hugs and sobbing, "Brittany, where have you been? I was very sick." "Alan, how could you do this to your poor mother?" Alan took my hand as we faced them together. "Alan and I are together. That's not going to change just because you can't get along with his mom. We've always been so close, Julia. But you're ruining our relationship and making me miserable. I need you to stop being so selfish. Don't make us choose between you two and our relationship. You both need to respect our decision. You don't have to like each other, but you need to respect and tolerate each other. If you want us in your lives, you got it." Our moms looked at us and then at each other, and for the first time that I could remember, they didn't start fighting.